Harold's feeling pretty, dude. You got to make sure everyone sees him before he starts talking. Our plot has just been me drunk trying to bully you.
Yeah.
Like, when did it become like that? And Harold be like, come on, I have a good point.
Yeah.
I'm like, you fucking gay, dude. When did our
Come
plot
on,
become
Sean. Let
that?
me say my points.
Come on, man.
Let me say my points, Sean. I have points. I wrote notes.
It's not even like that. You listen back on it, you're just making totally good points.
Just trying to talk.
My ass is just belligerent in the corner. This fucking sucks. This podcast sucks, bro.
The podcast sucks.
This is lame. I want to do my 30 minute
like, okay,
rant,
Sean,
bro.
take the floor. That's
Dude, then you ruin it, dude. Yo, fine, Sean. Let's listen to what Sean has to say. We're like a band.
Did you see someone commented, Sean got to have like a little light?
Yeah, I gotta have a headlight that goes off when I make a new point.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah, we're at the point where our band has gotten so big.
Yeah.
Like Yoko pulls out. So
Yeah.
one other thing, Max is Yoko.
Yeah.
Max pulls out,
Everything
dude.
gets frazzled.
Everything gets fucking fried, dude. But damn, yeah, we back in
Al spot.
go Al's spot.
It's April 23rd. You know April 23rd? That's the day Shakespeare and Cervantes died. April 23rd, 1616. They both died on the same day.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How do you
Almost
how do you know
simultaneously.
that shit, man? Cervantes. Oh, on the same day in the same year.
Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy.
I know. So it's
Something
a
died
go today.
Something died today.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
How you feeling, Sean?
I'm feeling all right.
Yeah?
All right, other than everything else I just told you.
But other than that, you're
other
fine.
than that, I'm feeling, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. Other than, yeah. How are you, Al?
I don't have a mic. About how are you, Harold?
He does. Because
Yeah.
I'll keep the video mic for whenever Al talks.
Yeah. Oh,
Clip it
okay.
up. I got you, Al. All right.
So what you been on? This just been in shambles?
No, well, dude, I've been through enough fires. I'm all right. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm immune to the most
new.
terrible situations. I just
Yeah.
Yep, this is life. See, that's why our pods are different too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, Harold. Yeah, no, that's why our points on the pod are different. Where
Yeah.
I'm just like one after another, just crushing blow.
Yeah.
Harold's like, I don't get it. Like, literature's about loving life, man. And I'm like, no, it's fucking not, dude. It's about fucking. But no, man. I mean, I obviously finished Table for Fortune. I couldn't even
That's
tell
crazy.
you about it, which is
That's
pretty
crazy.
fucking crazy. I might be the first person besides Isaac, his editor,
Yeah.
who finished Table for Fortune all the way through. Not only did I do that, I ran
That's
back
crazy.
the last 100 pages
Yeah.
because they were so good.
3,400 pages.
3,400
That's
pages.
crazy.
And I'm almost finished with Europe Central.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
So you've been going in.
Vollmann-Maxxing, bro. Vollmann-Maxxing. But yeah.
And what'd you think?
Damn, I thought you were gonna start. Well, dude.
Now he don't want to talk.
You know, Max was talking all last week.
Yeah.
Bitch. Max talking all last week because I didn't really understand Europe Central.
Yeah.
But Europe Central got a character. Remember we were doing that argument about like form. He kept saying like he's into formalism.
Yeah.
Like
Formalism?
Max is.
Yeah.
Like he's into
Oh,
like
sure. Well,
formalism.
I was actually thinking about this too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm into like the message.
Yeah.
Because there's one. I'll get to Table for Fortune, but in Europe Central, when I first read it last time, I had it in Berkeley. I think I read most of it, but I just didn't really know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
But this time this time I realized there's a character that's a stand-in for him.
Yeah.
It's the composer.
Mm.
What's his fucking name again? Solkachev or something like that. But he's this composer who is basically like a political dissident. Where,
Okay.
like, they wanted him during World War II. And he has like Opus 1, Opus 10.
Yeah.
They wanted him to, like make music like that was like for the cause.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he just kept doing these like more and more wild, like alienating the reader. It's all gloomy. Like there's these long things. And he was very prolific. And basically that's like the main thread through Europe Central. And it's totally Vollmann talking about himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
that's like what makes it sick this time. But that's what Max kept saying. He's like, I'm into formalism. Like, let me just get the name down. But he was opposing formalism to like state funded
Oh,
messaging,
yeah.
right? But I was saying like formalism versus like giving the individual meaning against the state, capitalism, and stuff like that. But it's once I discovered that thread, and I also realized Europe Central is the precursor to Table for Fortune, because Table for Fortune essentially goes from 67 through present.
Yeah.
And this one goes like all the way from before the war. It moves chronologically through a few different characters, but it keeps returning to this dude, and his name is Shostakovich.
Yeah.
But
you know, I was thinking of this because I was listening. I listened back to bits and pieces of the pod.
Yeah.
You know, just going through, see if I was all fucked up like I was accused of. But no, you were saying
episode 89 is
but
no talking, just boxing.
Yeah.
Just me getting knocked out. You're like, dude, I can fight you.
Did I send you that video where it was a guy, they were like in that street fight and they're fighting and the guy like clips him with a hook and the guy goes, "Did he just hit me?" And they're like, "Yeah, he just hit you." He was like, "Nah," and he like stepped off and he quit the fight. I was like, that's our fight.
Yeah, that's our fight, dude.
But no, I think Sean could take me. But so Wyndham Lewis was I was reading some of Time and Western Man.
Yeah.
And this is his critique of Joyce is that Ulysses is like a craftsman book.
Okay.
Right? Where Joyce is just he's taking all these different styles, he's piling stuff on, and he's just crafting all this stuff because there's nothing he's saying underneath.
Right.
And so it's very much like Wyndham Lewis is all about the idea behind the work. I don't think he's right about Ulysses because I do think Ulysses has a central idea.
Right.
But he's basically saying like Ulysses is this like Joyce is fixing this moment in the past, like this sentimentally, right? Mm-hmm. He's setting this book in this fixed past that he invented himself.
Right.
So that's a sentimental move. And he's piling all these layers of craft and invention because there's really nothing he's saying there. He's taking this and that, but there's no strong idea.
Right. But in the case of Shostakovich, and the reason why Vollmann relates to him is like the state keeps wanting to put him forth. It's during World War II. So like he's all lit. He's got this. He loves his woman Helena, who has a husband. It's like his mistress, and in real life, it was like known that it was his mistress for like 3 months. Yeah. But Vollmann goes all the way to the end of his life in 1970. So it comes up to where Table of Fortune starts. Yeah. And he got this, and he just loves. You know, he always has this, and it's so funny. But there's one point where like Stalin's like, "You're the fucking guy." Yeah. And then he does like a big thing, and everyone's there, like Hitler's there, or not Hitler, they're against each other. But fucking Stalin's there, and then he does this like OD, like avant-garde, like terrifying thing. Yeah. It just scares everyone, and then eventually by the end, and he just keeps making stuff. Yeah. He keeps alienating stuff, and he doesn't give in to like appeasing the audience. Sure. Which is, of course, what Vollmann's doing. At the end, he's composing. He got the suitcase at his feet. Yeah. In case they pull up on him. Yeah. Wow. The fascists, and they do. I think they get him. That's right where I stopped.
So he refuses to capitulate to the state interests. Right. And keeps trying to push the aesthetic further and further.
That's formalism, right? And he's getting critiqued of in that context. So it's not like a frivolous Joycean like as Wyndham Lewis.
Sure, yeah.
It's like no, I'm not cutting Father.
Yeah, you're being dangerous to the state. Yeah. Is basically what it is. You're being dangerous to sensibilities.
And this is essential to Vollmann's thing. Yeah. Because I read every single Harper's essay too. Yeah. And the FBI one. The FBI one, when they're in his files, and they're looking specifically at Fathers and Crows, and they say Vollmann is way too intelligent. He's too smart. A lot of Unabomber, a lot of these terrorists are really smart. Yeah,
Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, taking drugs. And he has anti-progress ideas.
Oh, I like that.
Anti-progress ideas. So that's Shostakovich, right?
Anti-progress ideas.
I ain't going to push your thing. Yeah. I'm going, dissonant, gloomy. And then sometimes he does really crass stuff. Yeah. This is Vollmann. Yeah. He's writing about himself. And this has to do with why Matthew fucking hates his dad so much in Table for Fortune.
Oh, really?
Too, and just chooses to be fucking homeless.
Yeah.
And then just fucking dies in the pandemic.
Wow.
And then and his parents learn that he dies on January 6th, 2021. Really? Yeah.
That's crazy. So why do you say it relates to Matthew reacting to his dad.
Because his dad was, Vollmann's whole project is whatever the other is.
Yeah.
And he says this. And he says it's one talk. I watched this one talk, and he goes, whatever the other is, if it's the Native Americans, we have to try to relate to them. But also the Nazis.
Yeah.
See, he goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
So he's talking about Elliot, codenamed Dave,
Sure.
who's the first 3/4 of the book, who's the guy who's at the CIA. And he is not saying he's a shitty, evil guy.
Yeah.
He's going through his whole life, his marriage, and it's kind of like him because he's a parent. And then every now and then, Elliot will say something like that fucking cross-dressing loser Vollmann.
Yeah. Oh,
you
really?
know, like that cross-dressing pinko, that commie, you know. But then Matthew holds the fact that it all stems around Abu Ghraib.
Okay.
Right? The torturing
Of course.
of the people in the Taliban in Baghdad in 2004. Matthew holds that against his dad.
He does because he works for the CIA. Yeah.
So then, like, at a certain point, he decides he just goes homeless. Yeah. And he's always like a troubled kid. He's taking drugs, jerking off all the time. Yeah. But then sometimes when he's the best parts of the fucking book. This is the sickest book by him. I swear to God. When you get to the Matthew parts, around 2,000 pages in. Yeah. When he's like drawing on his train hopping stuff, when he's out and about finding a new home, he has so many different girlfriends. Yeah. First is Jessica from high school. Then he meets some other homeless chick, and then they're like eating Molly. Yeah. Fucking. Then there's the old lady. And he's like he smells real bad. Yeah. He's homeless. And they start popping drugs. He's eating her out. Yeah. Like, she like does her laundry, comes back, they fucking. Vollmann's so even in Europe Central, he's
talking about like cunts
and like
cocks
horned up.
Yeah.
But before it would be slipped into so much smart shit and back then. Yeah. I mean, I think that's might be partly why people are like, I don't know.
What?
Viking might have dropped. I don't know. Like
because it's too crass.
He pretty wild, bro. He a wild man. Yeah. But he's also so more. I think he's the most moral, most rigorous. But Vollmann sees something in the homeless, quote unquote anti-progress. Yeah.
Anti-progress, huh? Yeah.
Quote unquote progress. So like. I think that's essential to his vision.
Well,
and he empathizes with Matthew.
Yeah. But just speaking of like speaking on behalf of the state and being a mouthpiece for the progress, I just read Ben Lerner's.
You finished it?
Yeah, I read it in one day.
It's like 10 pages, right?
Yeah. I was like, because I was reading a bunch of novellas this week. Yeah. Because, I've been Disciplinemaxxing. I didn't tell you this.
Damn.
Because I was.
You were reading a lot.
Well, yeah, because I
was too.
Last week, early last week.
Disciplinemaxxing.
Well, after I came back from Ohio, I was just in my shower. Yeah. And I turned around and there was a gigantic spider in the corner of my shower. And I realized I had a gnat infestation too. Oh. And I had just been living in complete squalor of my own making. And I was so disgusted with myself that I spent 3 hours cleaning every nook and cranny of the bathroom, and then I'm like, I'm gonna fast, and then I haven't had more than 3 drinks in like forever. Wow. And look, forever, like a week.
Yeah, but you're looking pretty lean.
And look at this coffee. I'm drinking 1 cup a day. This is my 2nd cup today. I'm not even drinking coffee. Damn. I'm not listening to anything outside. I'm just thinking. I'm trying to cultivate ideas again.
Yo, Harold's Disciplinemaxxing is a menace, bro. Harold's already a menace. If he's Disciplinemaxxing, everyone better watch out. It's over.
Because I was thinking of that Cyril Connolly quote, which I thought was "You must change your life," but that's actually Rilke just says it straight up. But Cyril Connolly had this great quote where it's like, these writers are working on their things, and the only job of the writer is to write a masterpiece, and these people are incapable of writing a masterpiece because they need to fundamentally change the way they live. And I was like, I'm eating cookies every day. I'm just getting drunk 4 times a week. I'm like,
you drink a lot.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck, like, I'm going toward a lifestyle that's incapable of writing a masterpiece, and I need to curtail it.
You get Mishima, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You go Mishima mode.
Exactly.
Watch out, dude.
But
so what
anyway,
about transcription?
Transcription.
You just bodied it.
This
in
is
10 seconds.
Yeah,
Disciplinemaxxing.
I actually,
Harold.
the only Lerner I read 1004 when I was in college, and I didn't like it. I took Leaving the Otocha Station from Al, but I didn't read it. And then the Topeka School, I'm not interested in. And but I read this, and I have to say it was so boring, and it was, and I'm gonna write a little thing about the novellas I read this week, and I won't say this in the review, but I mean Ben Lerner, he writes like a pussy. I'm like,
explain that.
I mean, the shit with. You know what it is, and it makes complete sense why he's getting all these raves and why, we're missing a male patriarch of letters.
Dude, Vollmann.
Well, but he can't be because he's too dangerous.
That's what I'm saying,
Lerner
though.
is
A male patriarch, exactly.
There's nothing.
Wait, what are you saying? We're missing a male patriarch and he's fulfilling that role?
I'm saying they're putting him in that role.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no establishment male patriarch.
Right.
But Lerner is so easy to put there because literally there's nothing dangerous about anything he's writing about.
Of course.
I mean, the book is like, do you know what it's about at all?
He trying to go interview. You tell me.
He's interviewing his old mentor, and then he like drops his phone in the sink.
Exactly.
And then he can't record it, and for some reason, he's like, I can't tell this guy, and so he pretends to be recording the interview, and it's like the big.
It's like me when I can't get the pod going.
Yeah, it's like, but it's like the crux of the novel is such a non-problem,
right?
And every like. Yeah, it's like this poet. No, it's not Ashbery. It's some other fucking poet
some German guy, right?
Yeah,
I think it was a real interview from like 2019 or something.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, and
and
they're like, well, there's the second part of the book that's like 5 pages, and it seems where this woman's like, well, they're mad at you for writing that interview, and then it's like no one's mad at him, no one's mad at anybody.
Yeah,
every problem gets easily resolved, and it's just like this. The whole thing is like. I'm a little bit anxious about this, and there's just this nittiness about it that I just found really annoying. But there was one part that I thought was great. There was like 4 pages where he's talking about when his wife and him met in college, and she went to study abroad, and she fell in love with some other guy and dumped him, right? And he got all like, he's all sorts of panic attacks, so he's going to the hospital all the time. He's having his breakdowns.
He's therapy.
Yeah, of course, And
I'm so toxic. I'm making fun of people. Therapy. Yo,
I'm being mean, but I mean, there's a lot of. I just don't relate to his protagonist. But so he meets his ex-girlfriend's best friend, and they start like hanging out and get close. And she's telling him like, oh yeah, Mia is living in New York with that Spaniard, and they got a dog, and oh yeah, he got a job, he broke his fingers on the job, this and that, blah blah blah, for months and months. And then he meets Mia out on the street, and Mia is like, it's awkward, and he's like, well, I heard you got this great life with this Spaniard. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I dumped him back in Spain.
Okay.
And he realizes the friend made everything up and was inventing everything. And then I was like, whoa, I'm like interested. And then it just stops. And then it has like a line where he's like, I yelled terrible things at her. And I'm like, that's what I want. I want to know what kind of terrible things he's yelling. Like,
right.
He don't let himself be bad in any way.
That's he stays within the confines of propriety.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah.
But
and I mean the book is just like so fucking unfunny too, and it's just like, I mean, I thought it was cringy too. Like, I'm looking at my phone, I'm scrolling on my phone, I'm like, this is just, I thought it was super boring.
What do you mean you're looking at your phone?
That's what the book says.
Oh, I see.
I'm like, I miss scrolling on my phone. I miss clicking on my phone.
Yeah. That's interesting.
There's a couple half-ass parts that are like okay, but
he got that clever flow, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's like everyone's talking about how beautiful and sonorous his language is.
Everyone's just happy they actually read it because it's so short.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's like, oh, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's like you haven't finished the book all year.
Yeah, it's the first book I finished in the past 10 years. But yeah, that's so funny.
And then the Lerner. I mean, I hope he's we still want him on the pod.
Yeah.
So he can sit there and scowl at us with those eyebrows.
Lerner, I fuck with you, even though you're too much of a even though you liked fuckboy or too.
He
scared
did. He was
and
too
scared to blurb
Yeah,
it.
how about that? That just tells you where he's at.
I told
right?
you so.
Yeah.
I told
he
you
had
so.
his private note. He's like, Sean, don't tell anybody that I like fuckboy. Please don't tell anyone.
That's how everybody
My
is.
fucking neck is on the line.
That's how everybody is. Quickly, invisible. The ink where the invisible message.
But the reviews are crazy for the Lerner.
Like real rave.
Yeah, he's resurrecting the novel.
Well, it's an astroturf. Most things are astroturfs,
Yeah.
right? Because they do want him to fill that male patriarch role.
And he is filling that role. So, bow down to him.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah. But I was thinking what I was thinking too is just, okay, if this is our American male patriarch, what's missing in the American novel, especially the male novel, is a sense of vitality.
Right.
Because I was thinking, Nard is about Lerner's age, and they both come from the Sebald tradition, right? Of like this.
Yeah.
And Nard's character, there's just so much vitality. There's not this like, the worries are just different. The worries in Nard seem bigger. Lerner's worries seem small.
He's a good European patriarch. He's not an American patriarch, though.
Who, Lerner?
Nah, Nard.
Yeah, Nard. That's what I'm saying.
You gotta have
I'm saying
McCarthy,
this. Yeah.
Vollmann. I will say, because I was thinking about this too. Like, it's not just that. I'm trying. You got to be like toxic. And virile.
You don't have to be toxic and virile.
No, but I think the more I read Vollmann and like I understand his, like. I think that there's a like he relates to Shostakovich.
Yeah.
In the Stalin regime.
Yeah.
Trying to get him to write I think some American guy shows up his show. It's like, your best one is that one you did because I can whistle it when I go home.
Yeah.
Like he's writing.
Sure.
So it's like having that, by which I mean having that rebellious, like he correlates America to like fascist regimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the artist he sees, which is kind of poetic of why he is where he is now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so in that there is I'm about to get my FBI file now,
Sure.
but there is like a fascism to how
they don't want you to write nothing. They don't want you.
Yeah.
They don't want you saying anything.
They don't want me saying anything.
Yeah.
Man. Like, but there's something inherent in the artist, like the writer's role, of like rebelling against that.
Of course.
And like that is not just being toxic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. And
like,
what I'm saying too is like what I mean by he seems so safe to me. It's not about just exploring the shadow side or da-da-da. But it's also like, to me, it just formally and linguistically, it just all feels so safe.
Right.
Like, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
It's this.
Absolutely.
I mean, it seems like just state media, right?
Right. Exactly.
That's what it is.
No, that's what it is. No, it literally is though.
Yeah.
Like it
so
literally
it's like everyone
is.
reads it. It's like, oh, I love.
No, but
that's the state I want to live
in. In terms of how we treat the homeless, in terms of how we do in the wars, in terms of how back then doing fucking Abu Ghraib or whatever.
Yeah.
It's no different.
Yeah.
It's no different than the other shit. You stop lying,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe anti-American, but yeah. So.
Oh yeah, yeah, he is, and we need to. He's just filling the role, and he's doing it well, and he made a nice readable book. And what I liked about the book actually is the cover design. We got the same cover designer actually, Rodrigo Corral. And there's no blurbs on the cover at all, and it wraps around the back to where the back is a reflection of the front, and it's different. And the book is $25. That's the right price for a hardcover. That's what I wanted to tell Ben to make Humpty Dumpty, just $25
Instead of 30?
flat. Yeah, instead of 29 or 30 or whatever it is. Because 25 seems like, okay, I can afford that.
Right.
You know, more than like a $30. It just psychologically it seems, you know, and I bet that's why it's moving so many copies, because you can read it from start to finish and you feel smart.
Right.
Because he does make you, he makes a certain type of reader feel smart, because he got a lot of like gibberish in there that's like, oh, this like pseudo profound gibberish is a big part of it too, which people need. You know, it elevates their spirit. It's state media. It elevates your spirit to read the pseudo profound gibberish.
Hey.
No, but all in all,
Sorry,
I love Transcription.
I gotta stop being such a bitch and apologizing to all these writers you talk shit about.
But I also I read you're gonna be
Gatsby.
You're not gonna believe this. I read 2 books this week by living women.
That's insane.
By women who are alive and writing.
That's insane.
Helen of Nowhere, which I really like.
The funny thing is, I have the terrible misogynistic rants.
Yeah.
But you don't even read women.
Oh my God. I spent so many years reading women.
But I got the suitcase on my feet. You know, I'm typing in case they pull up and try to fucking lock me up for just trying to write
I just
another
don't
book.
have as many women sending me their books saying that I'm an inspiration, or maybe I would read more. I mean, you can tell, Sean, I just love fuckboy, and I think you would like what I'm doing.
I just say what it's true because I know that I'm one of them. I'm like Dolores. Book of Dolores. Dude, the Book of Dolores is crazy. He got all these pictures of himself cross-dressed.
Oh, really?
But so talk to me. You bodied Helen of Nowhere?
Yeah.
And which other one?
And If an Egyptian Cannot Speak English by Noor Naga, which is like 2022, which I loved. I love that book. That book was good.
What strange set of circumstances led you to reading this?
Gabby
gave it to you?
No, that book had actually been on my radar just because it's like it's Grey Wolf, and you flip through it and it looks like it's doing. There's footnotes in the middle. What kind of
name is Naga? African?
She's Egyptian.
Egyptian. Cool.
Yeah, so I guess African. Yeah. But I mean, it's about she's Egyptian American.
I think I might have heard that.
It won like the first novel prize or something, but the book was sick. It's about this woman who is she's Egyptian, but she grew up in the United States, and she moves to Cairo to try to cut it. You know, she ditches her Manhattan life to live in Cairo, and she like falls in love and starts dating this like, you know, Cairo street urchin, right? And the chapters alternate between their perspectives of the dude who, you know, grew up in a little village outside of Cairo and moved to the city, and her, you know, and they fall in love, and you know, he's kind of a toxic guy.
Interesting.
And then she dumps him basically because he's too needy and broke. Like, she's working all day and he's just in her apartment doing nothing.
Yeah.
And then she starts banging this British dude, and he pulls up one night, the street urchin. He's all coked up, and he lunges at the British dude, and the dude fucking tosses him off the building, and he ends up dying.
Who tosses who?
The British dude tosses a street urchin off the building. And then the third part of the book becomes it's like a writing. It's done as a play, and it's a writing workshop where the author and a character named Noor Naga is being critiqued on her memoir about what happened. What we just read as her memoir, and they're like critiquing it through the workshop, and it's pretty funny and interesting. But I like that. I liked it a lot. Yeah. But that the Helen of Nowhere I thought was really good too.
Yeah. What were you saying? That you should never be in a relationship with
that's
someone
what
else
after I read it, I was thinking, wow, I'm like, you being in a relationship with a woman with artistic pretensions is just seems
it's a lost
like
cause.
You could fall into nightmarish scenarios.
Why? Because what happens at the end?
Well, at the end, it seems like he becomes a dog. That's how I read it. The last chapter is from the perspective of a dog, and which I like too as an ethic. Like, you know, of all the animals you can be, like Machiavelli says, you got to be like a lion and a fox, right? And Dale Carnegie, because I was on that shit 2 weeks ago.
You read that? You're reading
I
that?
listened to it. I listened to the whole thing, yeah.
I started listening to it too.
And he says kind of you got to be like a dog. And that, I think the whole thing is throughout Helen of Nowhere is like the husband, that they're having trouble, like he's not getting what he wants from his wife.
He was famous and
He was
professor.
Yeah, he was her vaunted professor.
Brought her in, and then
And
she ascended, and he got canceled.
Yeah,
right?
And she didn't defend him. She turned against him because he wasn't being a good husband. You know, in a way, sometimes the best way you can be to other people is just be like a dog. You know, you're just there supporting and smiling and licking and.
I've tried that before.
Yeah, and then it worked.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Just so that's what he does.
Yeah, I think so. That's what he does at the end.
We got to get her on and talk to her.
Yeah, we do. We got to get her on.
That'd be a good pod. I listened to a couple of her talk or one of her talks. She was really funny.
But the book, like, the flow was good. I like the realtor when the realtor's talking to, and she's and she's talking about this Helen who actually don't exist.
Yeah.
And she's talking about, but a lot of it's like, this is what I was feeling too. You're cluttering your mind with so much nonsense, and theirs is get back to nature. You know, I'm trying to get back to some kind of like ascetic silence in some ways, you know, as much as you can in the city. But that's what I was thinking. That's what brought on the Disciplinemaxxing too. Is that
really?
I just felt like I was cluttering my mind with all these. I'm listening to stuff all the time, podcasts, music, and I'm cluttering my body with this food and this drink. And what I'm doing is, I'm creating a mediated experience to the world, and I'm not having any unmediated experience because there's always a fucking filter there. And that's kind of what, I guess that's kind of what transcription is about. But transcription becomes like everything about the book reads like a mediated experience. Like, these aren't real feelings, right? These are everything here. These feelings, these emotions, these problems are easily resolved. Everything is, I'm not feeling this directly. Everything is over here, and it's like you're observing it in a little box, right? You're observing it in your little phone.
Right.
And it's just, it feels safe. It feels easy, you know? So in that way, if that was his point formally with the book, I mean, he did it tremendously to make the book.
Sounds like he might have made you start Disciplinemaxxing.
No, Dale Carnegie did that.
Yeah. You're reading Machiavelli, dude.
That Machiavelli, I was like, and then I saw the big spider in my gnat infestation.
Yeah.
And you know what I did to all those gnats? I murdered every single one of them. I never killed.
You're a strong Florentine leader or Naples leader.
I don't even. You know what's good about Machiavelli too is
Machiavelli.
Is that his shit is basically like, you know,
how to mog.
No, but whatever you do don't matter anyway.
How to mog.
His shit is like whatever you do don't matter anyway because fortune will defeat you. Like his prince, the main prince is Caesar Borgia, who Nietzsche talks about Borgia. He talks about Machiavelli, and but Borgia does everything right. He's the perfect prince in Machiavelli's eyes. But his dad, who is the Pope, dies, and the currents change, and he loses because the currents change outside of his control. You know, that book is about the malice of fortune.
His dad?
No, it's Borgia's dad.
Borgia's dad.
Yeah, who was the Pope.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And Machiavelli was aligned with them, so when they
I read the intro, and then I started.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because you were talking about it, and I got curious about it. But I was like, how to dominate, how to like mog and keep leading. I was like, this ain't real. I gotta figure out how to find some sort of honor and integrity in being a completely castigated, homeless dude like Matthew.
Is that right?
Who's on the verge of death, bro.
But
I love Matthew, man.
Yeah,
it was so funny.
Why do you love Matthew so much?
He keeps saying, okay, he's always just like, he always says, I'm too stupid. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
He's like, but he's always trying to go straight.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm trying to go straight. He's doing meth.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, I'm trying to go straight. And he's like, I love America. Do this one part. He has so many different women. Yeah. He's always missing the old ones, jerking off to them and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's always jerking off. But meets this woman, Audrey.
Yeah.
And they find this little like ghetto ass island in like a river like in central California. Vollmann's been a lot around California. Like
Yeah.
I'm looking up the places he's at, like a weird canal. Central California, there's a lot of methed out, whooped out areas there. And then they find this island, and they're all trying to like live. They're trying to like, okay, basically he's trying to, he loves America.
Yeah.
He believes in the ideal of America, but he fucking hates the government.
Yeah.
And he hates, he's, you know, I mean, he's very troubled. But then they get this island and they call it America.
Yeah.
And they're just like trying to live like, I don't know. It's like porn.
Yeah.
It's like man porn when he's just like with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
girl and
yeah,
they're trying to
yeah.
like live no, it's just, it makes you, it just, I don't know. There's something about trying to, he really does do that. I mean, he makes fun of himself in that one essay about how, oh, I'm so great. I'm really evil. I think I'm so great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be so compassionate to these poor people and trying to make all of the normies. But he has an inspiring level of unflinching, opening your eyes to shit you don't want to see, you know.
But
Vollmann does,
yeah.
you know. And obviously the tragedy is that the whole thing is him trying, in my view, is him trying to empathize with his daughter.
Yeah.
Who's in that position, not coming home and staying homeless and doing drugs but then other times it seems like him as a young man hopping trains.
Sure.
So the first half is like him looking at his life or trying to empathize with like his dad or something. And the second half is like him looking at his youth and trying to empathize with this. And then of course the tragedy is life mimics art or something.
Yeah.
It's astonishing.
Yeah.
It's astonishing, like, and it's humbling. It's humbling, and it does some. That's another thing Shostakovich talks about, where it's like, can art, because he like wants to do these crazy ass opuses, these things, and then the question is, if you do some weird shit that like fucks with people, can it change how people think?
Yeah.
Because then the girl is just like, just do what the state says.
Yeah.
And I think he believes that it can change how he thinks. And I think Vollmann believes that. But otherwise, why wouldn't you just write the fucking quick rip? You know?
Yeah, but, okay. So, Matthew, Vollmann, Shostakovich, all these guys are kind of like sick idealists in some ways, right? And this is what made me think.
Vollmann is so idealistic.
This what makes me think of Gatsby, right?
Okay.
Gatsby, who is a sick idealist too.
Don't compare Vollmann to Gatsby, but keep going.
I think it's a
Talk
reasonable.
Talk to me about Gatsby.
Well, you know, Gatsby is like the epigraph you sent me, which is a great one. Nick goes, "You can't change the past. You can't." You can't change the past. You can't relive the past.
Yeah, he goes, yes, I can.
Yes, it's like, why? Of course I can.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what he's trying to do. And this is what I thought was so interesting about Gatsby compared to Machiavelli and Carnegie, is that Dale and Machiavelli are relentless realists, right? They don't believe in, you know, they think that the self is this thing that's always changing and adapting to its circumstances, and that is not some kind of deception or some phony thing, but that's just how you ought to be. That is how your self works, and that is how it ought to be, that it's always adapting to these situations. And Gatsby has this really fixed idea about how the world should be, and it's, you know, it comes from this fixed notion of the self, where he was this real thing back before the war, because I think Gatsby is sick with the war too. I think a lot of Gatsby.
Okay, break it down. What happens in Gatsby?
So Gatsby is so Nick's narrating the novel.
He shows up to Little Egg, big Egg. East Egg,
Little Egg,
and then he got a nice house, but then there's a big ass house. And Gatsby lives there.
And Gatsby's throwing all these parties and shit.
Daisy's who's Daisy again?
So Daisy is Gatsby's love, who wouldn't marry him. right? Because he was too broke. Like Fitzgerald, right?
Yes.
Zelda wouldn't marry him because he was too broke,
Right.
but then eventually
Right.
she did because his first novel was a big hit.
Right.
You know, but Gatsby goes. I think Gatsby's he has a lot of war trauma, and he's trying to go back to this past before the war to like erase all the war too, and just to recover this, you know, this real thing with Daisy, which never existed, and Daisy doesn't care about that. She has no sense, you know, she doesn't give a fuck about Gatsby, I don't think. I think she's just trying to have a summer fling with some guy to get back at her husband.
Okay.
And then it all comes to a head when Gatsby says they're all together, Daisy's husband, Gatsby, and Nick, and some other girl. And Gatsby's like, tell him that you never loved him, that you always just loved me. And she starts crying. She's like, I can't say that. Like, you want too much. You can't,
So
I can't help what was.
He's too greedily idealistic.
Well, every idealistic person is greedily idealistic, don't you think? There's just one way for the world to be, and it's their way.
Yeah. Okay. But Vollmann is an idealist because he sees the world clearly in a way that everybody else is blinding themselves at too. And
you think so?
Yes, absolutely. And he absolutely looks at it, and he rates it, and he looks and he just says it.
But it's also like if you have, you're trying to peel people's eyes open, and you have a message to share with them, and you write a 3,400-page book, you must know that people aren't going to look at the message.
Yeah. But he's not trying to. Well, he earned that.
Yeah, I mean, I believe this. I'm just
he
like.
He earned that.
You know, he's obviously can't be proselytizing if he's, with these big books like that.
Okay, he's not.
He's not a pamphleteer.
No, he's definitely not a pamphleteer, but he's just doing. I mean, he doesn't. He's just doing what he wants to be doing. He's not trying to give into this fake game of. I mean, it's outside of his. If you look at everything that he's looking at, it's outside of his ethics to try to be marketable.
Yeah.
Right. That's fake and gay.
I can understand that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what he's saying. Like that's part of his message too. And he just keep up if you can keep up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the idealist always loses.
Yeah. You talking about losing and winning like there's anything to win.
Yeah. 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 There's nothing to win.
You're a young man. But and you got a lot of state backing right now. But I don't know. Yeah. Look at what
No, but the whole thing I wrote last week was about just the games, like the games you're losing or winning. Like Daisy wins at the end of The Great Gatsby, but her game is a miserable one, and Gatsby loses, and I think Gatsby's a lot like Ahab in Moby Dick. Where he devotes himself to this thing. I mean, Ahab is a sick idealist, but he wouldn't want to be any other way. He devotes himself to this grand game he knows he's never going to win, but to him, that's more worth it than playing these games where you can win, where I can be, the fucking head of a fishing boat that makes a fucking bunch of money and whatever, and I get back to my wife and kid on shore. Yeah. But he'd rather devote himself, like Vollmann, like these people, to some game that you'll never win.
Yeah.
That's idealism, devoting yourself to a game you'll never win.
Okay.
Which, I mean, there's no good or bad or any of this. That's just what it is, right?
But I think it's also, devote yourself to a game you never win. But I think there's also, I think that question is important of, like, whether you think that doing some artwork that jolts people in a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, do you actually think it can change people?
Yeah.
I think that's an important question.
Sure.
Like, and I think it's a decisive question.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Because I think that, and it completely changes. If you're trying to win, you're trying to convince the corrupt system to be on your side. right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's winning. If you actually think you can jolt people, I'm having an impact on you that you don't understand.
Yeah.
You might not understand. You'll kick and scream. You'll yell.
Yeah.
You'll banish me to
Yeah.
never make anything again. But I feel like I know why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. Bro got me like, yeah, he got me looking. I mean, dude, just the way he writes about the homeless people and the homeless communities and his dedication to the vision.
Yeah.
Is admirable. It's honorable. Yeah. It's on some like me speaking of Mishima. It's on. He likes Mishima. Yeah. It's on some like real. Yeah. It was funny at the end of our talk. He was like, "So," he goes, "Isaac, who would you rather be?
Yeah.
Would you rather be Elliot going into work every day and trying to sleep with whatever, or would you rather be Matthew running around doing drugs?" And Isaac goes, "Definitely Elliot."
Yeah.
And he goes, "I'd rather be Matthew."
and that's the life he chose.
Well, certainly now he feels like that.
But I mean, see, and now I'm coming around. When I read Gatsby this weekend, I was thinking that Gatsby is an idiot and etc. But now I'm starting to think that, and I go back and forth of what I think about idealism and this is again divine ambition versus earthly ambition.
Certainly,
but I do think that Gatsby, as foolish as he might be, is admirable in just, I think devoting yourself to the game you'll never win is an admirable thing. And that's why we're attracted to people that do that.
Yeah.
Always, And that's, just playing easier games it seems more detestable.
Yeah.
Like Daisy.
Okay. I guess I gotta run.
I mean,
back.
it's
I
easy.
start.
And this is, but I was also thinking about just
it's funny, like finish Table of Fortune. And
Yeah.
I start Great Gatsby. It's like one sitting.
Yeah.
Of Table of Fortune. I'm like, let's read 200 pages of sitting.
But it's. I'm also interested in Gatsby's reach though. Like I was sitting on the train, and some dude sat across from me who, he looked like half a bum, and he was like, "Is it like the movie?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's exactly like the movie, kind of." And he goes, "I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go buy it."
Let's go.
So it's like, wow,
That's like Salinger.
It's almost like that the idea of writing like a 150-page hitter. That's that's
Yeah.
I mean, the accessible hitter.
Yeah,
like transcription.
Harold.
Exactly. Everyone can finish.
Yeah.
that.
One time I had Catching a Ride at the airport. It's like middle-aged, like Southern or Midwestern lady was like, "That's my favorite book."
Yeah, see, to inspire that kind of devotion,
she
like
Catching a Ride.
But that's the
all these phonies. Hate these phonies.
Man, your door's always rumbling. But not that it matters. You have a beautiful apartment, Alan. For you to let us do this here is, but I think there is a way. I don't know where the idealism, like I know he would never do it, but don't you think Vollmann, if he clipped the Table for Fortune down like an 1,100-page book, he could have I feel like it's a book that a lot more people would read, 10 times as many people would read, and it would be impactful and it would be more impactful.
I should pull up his quote. Yes, maybe if I cut it down, I could find more readers, expand my readership. Yeah, you think he gives a fuck about expanding his readership?
I know, but if you have a shareable vision, isn't that something you would want to do? If you have the message.
You don't got, dude. I mean, I mean, dude, like, bro,
I'm just talking it out. I don't know what I believe.
It's astonishing. Like, it's just like, all throughout time, it's like people who have stuff and get in positions of power just try to stomp out everything that seems ugly or outside or repulsive to them. Why? Just to keep their sense of why? Because you don't want to walk down the street in your fucking $1 million neighborhood and someone to think you're weird.
Yeah.
When people are fucking dying and shit.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. And that's just.
That's why I don't want
to publish him. He's like weird. Like I heard it. That's what it is, bro. But that's a mission. Dude, who gives a fuck,
yeah, but
bro?
also like okay, but now we're like those. That is really a singular. You know, these are like pockets of people. This is one person here, one person there, and what I'm talking about is the people. The readership isn't these like. You know, anxious editors at a magazine like, oh, should I publish this guy because he's weird? Well, it's like people who, you know, might want to have their reality turned to something else.
Well, Vollmann comes out at a different time, and he's not changing what he's doing.
Well, of course, I know that.
But, you know, that's actually kind of interesting. I actually had this thought recently and it was kind of making me think about what's going on with publishing.
Sure.
And even just the way I go in. I don't know. Sometimes... just the way we go in and we're thinking about stuff. It was actually that dude, I'm gonna shout out, bro, who's that like YouTuber who's always like,
oh yeah, that dude,
hates on and stuff. What's his name again?
Oh, Ian Catanag.
Yeah, you know this dude. He got a pretty good YouTube following. But he's
people
always
do
just
hate
like,
on him.
Yo, like fucking, he got an interesting talking style. But for some reason I was listening to this rant he was doing, and I don't know how much of the rant. I was listening to some of it, and then it just got me thinking, But I think that there is an archetype of like the literary, the culturally relevant literary mode has changed over time.
Yeah.
And Vollmann and DFW and Franzen, and to some degree Lerner's like the last kicking thing of it.
Yeah.
Was an era. And I think that the new era has to be something different. He was kind of saying this.
Yeah. Ian was saying that.
Yeah. But I thought it was...
he's always on that. I like the idea.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, this idea of, like, being... Like, what Vollmann does and DFW, like... And to some degree, there's, like, you know, people on that and, like, Substack, whatever... Some of our Substack sub-circle, you know, micro circles.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like the thing is, people aren't trying to, like, people can't read.
Yeah.
People can't read all that, and they can't understand it. They're, you know, the education, there isn't like a fucking like educated, like, like trying to be smart group of people that were like really like geeked up off. I mean, now it's almost nostalgic.
Yeah.
With DFW and stuff now. Like, it's not like, I don't know. I just think needs to be something like more belligerent. I think that the punk element is important now.
Sure.
You know, like that's always been an element, but it's especially important now. Like courage. I don't know. There needs to be something different.
Well, you know, I mean,
and I think some people are holding on to that old.
Well, let them hold on to what they want. But this is also, I just like you're gonna put out the walk book for free this summer. Like I don't know if that's a secret if I'm announcing anything.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
But it's like
that's Sami's secret pamphlet.
Right. That is something
pamphlet.
For the people, right? That is.
Right.
I'm putting out these stacks every week for free, where I'm reading everything to where you don't even have to like abide by my goofy punctuation and my symbols or nothing. You could just listen to it.
True.
And I feel like most people do listen to it.
Yeah.
And you know, it reaches a wider. If I wasn't reading it out loud, it would reach less people. If I had a paid subs, it would reach less people.
Right.
If you made your walk book $300 fucking a copy, like no one would read it. Right. You know, and if you made it 10,000 pages, nobody would read it.
Yeah.
You know, it's about, you know, the people are hungry for some real stimulation. That's why they read Lerner's, pseudo intellectual gobbledygook, and they feel fed because they can finish it. They can read it to the end. It's $25. It's a nice package. They can read it to the end, and so they feel enlightened.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm just talking about Vollmann to make a point. I know Vollmann is a special writer, and he's doing a special thing. And I wouldn't want him to be the kind of person who would cut his book down into a fucking bite-sized piece, But how did Faulkner get popular? It was fucking Malcolm, what's his name, Cowley, who did his...
Yeah.
Who put together the Faulkner Reader, where it's these excerpts of these books with the framework where here's the interpretation. Now I'm giving you this, people, and now you can go back and reevaluate the novels on their own terms because here is something that you can actually read. Giving people something they can actually read, I think, is interesting. I don't know if Humpty Dumpty is that. I hope it is.
Yeah. No, I mean... I'm not Disciplinemaxxing like you. I'm off a stressful night.
I'm off my second cup juiced up. I'm too
juiced up. Literally stayed up all night, just stressed, just growing gray hairs last night, and then fucking took a power nap on the bus straight to the whiskey. I'm just, I mean, we're speaking about different things. We're drawing on different things, a little bit thinking about different things, but I just think, yeah.
Well, it's funny you just read a 3,400 page book, and I've just been reading these little novellas that I can read in a day. I've been reading all these books in a day.
Some of these damn Vollmann essays are a damn novella. He got this one about the border. I think it took up the entire Harper's.
Really?
Yeah. It was just the Vollmann in like fall 2019 or something. And it was basically about interviewing all these motherfuckers who were like illegals near the border. Dude, Vollmann is he's just also so many different things. And he just goes out here and he listens. I don't know. He's goated. I love that man, dude. And he's a fucking national treasure.
I agree.
But I feel like, there's some way of speaking down. I agree with speaking to the people, trying to speak to the people in like a more direct way. It's got to be something new. I think I'm just trying to find what the new thing is. But I do feel his message of like, he does make you realize how we're just not so different from these fucking fascist states of the past.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's jarring when it like confronts you right in the face. But I'm glad you're Disciplinemaxxing. You're no. I felt that a little bit too this past week though. I was like, even when some shit was happening yesterday, I was feeling so down, and I started like, I could see my trauma tropes from the past. I was like, I don't like how this feels. I don't want to be here. And I'd be like, all right, let me listen to this fucking. Okay, maybe I'll figure out what's going on with astrology.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Cut it out, bro.
Yeah.
You were doing that for too long, bro. And it was not hitting. Nothing was hitting.
Yeah.
I was like, just sit with this.
Yeah.
This is just how it feels.
Nice.
This is just how it feels, But then a nice lady saved me with the new commission.
That's good.
See, I got a new task.
See, I mean,
just give me a task.
It is funny, the bifurcation of you can't publish here, you can't publish there, but you're getting all these commissions all the time.
Speak to the people. Dude.
Yeah, it's true,
bro.
Yeah.
It's true. So I got to just stay on that vision. I just got these controlling fascist forces trying to fucking stop me, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Before we make this part of the FBI file.
Yeah.
Al, what you been on, dude? How you been doing?
You read anything? I've been coming to my boxing class.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was fucking that bag up today.
Damn, bro. Damn, you bitch slapping it? Damn.
Yeah, you look like...
You slap boxing it? Yeah. What you been reading?
I read Werner Herzog walk book.
What?
He walked from Munich to Paris because his like friend was dying.
Oh.
And it's a journal from like late November, and it ends
sick, dude.
Nice.
Sick, dude.
1974 or something.
Yeah. Sick. Walkbook starts. Yeah, throw it to me. I've been only reading walkbooks. Writing Towards No. Vollmann does have some readable bangers. I'm gonna
believe you.
feature those.
Yeah.
Rainbow
Feature
Stars-
those. Nice.
Yeah. Or I'm gonna present them. Writing Towards Everywhere is a sick. It's a sick
Yeah.
walkbook, dude.
Yeah, you got to do like the Vollmann curriculum.
I
Put that
am.
on Substack. Like what to
Yeah,
read, you know,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you got to,
Yeah,
I
what,
mean,
in
you've
the
been reading
order?
so much Vollmann, you got to
Thing
like,
is, I haven't been reading that many.
yeah, I mean, you got to way more,
it took
right?
me, I'm like, yeah,
You
I've been
spend your
reading
whole life
Vollmann
reading it.
for a month.
Yeah.
I only finished one book, Table of Proportion, and he has like 30 more.
Yeah.
I'm like, but then I start writing now. I'm like, I can't only talk about
Yeah.
one book. I got to read a couple more. What else?
I read Intermezzo.
You did?
Oh, Gabby liked that.
That was like about how like young people are like open-minded to like the way the world can work.
Harold's laughing.
And then older people are like,
Yo, Harold's like laughing at us. A girl. You talking about a girl book?
I love Sally Rooney.
there's like no
We love Sally Reno. One Story Pod. Sally, come on the pod.
Yeah.
it can't look this way.
Okay.
People will talk.
That's what the book's about?
Sal-
I like understood why that like book hit for people.
Okay.
you know, Sally Rooney's our Hemingway.
I'm Hemingway, bro.
I read that.
Don't sleep.
Sally Rooney is.
I'm
You're
Hemingway.
something else.
I'm Hemingway. I think I'm everybody. No, I am.
Yeah.
I'm Faulkner.
But
Yeah, I
but
think
see,
I'm Faulkner and
Intermezzo
Hemingway.
was another one where it's like this is a chunky book, but people are reading it. I said, people are read what?
Yeah,
Because it's easy and it's like, but still,
we're not talking. We're talking about.
it isn't. It's not like one of these
Harold, if-
fucking dragon porn books.
I hate. Yeah.
It's not.
No, it's not. No, Sally Rooney is great. She's just fine. She's just fine.
Yeah.
She's just
And
fine. One
it-
of our most viewed videos is me talking about
Yeah.
Sally Rooney and the politics of hitting.
Yeah, hitting women, yeah. Isn't it funny? Have you it seems like every successful woman writer looks like a version of Sally Rooney. It's like that the Sally Rooney, Sheila Heti like spectrum.
You just think every girl who likes my book looks like
Well, it is. It is. Every girl with literary pretensions, Yeah. So funny. You see a girl post about fuckboy, you go on her profile. It's like, wow, is that is that Sheila Heti?
Chill out, bro. His hair. Oh my god.
See, I can throw these barbs because I'm not so entangled in the literary world as you. I'm not hobnobbing with these people.
I mean,
like
hobnobbing.
Lerner.
You're in the fucking
I'm not
literary
kidding.
world. They trying to astroturf you, bro. You got an astroturf turn.
AstroTurf.
Yeah. It's good. They try to astroturf me.
Yeah,
It
we'll
failed
see.
terribly. It
We'll
failed
see.
terribly.
Yeah. Yeah, that did backfire.
They try to astroturf me.
And it
The New York Times is like, what? Like, here's an AEVE. I can't even say it. I don't even know.
American Vernacular Energetic Enthusiast. That's
Nah.
what I am.
Yeah, nah. It's good. It's good. I'm the opposite, bro. I'm fucking. I'm just hoping I can. Am I allowed to say any more words?
Yeah. I think you will be.
What do you guys? What's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, Vollmann. You should read the Vollmann piece about his FBI file.
Okay.
It's really.
What's it
like
in?
Harper's.
Okay, cool.
From about 2013. It's like unreal.
Yeah.
Bro.
Nice.
Like, bro is really getting censored. But nice, dude. You did? Did you read it for the first time? Well, I mean, everyone
That
has to
Vollmann
read
wrote?
that.
Four
Did you
Men?
read that?
No.
That's the one he talks about his daughter.
Oh, Four
You got-
Men?
It's the most recent one. It's from 2023. That's the reason
Oh,
why
shit.
I realized I have to.
Yeah. Go in.
Yeah.
And Vollmann Max.
Well, yeah, and go interview him because he talks about his daughter dying, and that's when he completely self-murks himself
Yeah.
as like being so compassionate. He's just in Reno, like doing a parody of himself. It's the coldest night of the year. Everyone's
Yeah.
frozen. He's like going out to like paying dude, like giving a dude $20 and a beer so he could talk to them
Wow.
and like write about it.
Yeah.
But he's like being like, this is what I did my whole life, and like,
Yeah.
I think I'm so fucking sick, and I can't even. And my daughter died.
Yeah.
And I can't even control it.
Wow.
Asked him for 20 more. He's like, and I could do it technically, but like I just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's broke because Viking dropped him.
I gotta start talking to homeless people.
You talking to me, bro?
Come on, you're a homeless sheik.
We'll see, bro. Give it 2 months. Ain't gonna be no sheik. Catch me on an island I named America.
Yeah.
That's a way to doing math. That's what it said in the FBI file too. We believe that Vollmann's been doing drugs, including meth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right, dude. Good app.
I think that's good.